Hi guys, welcome to my channel Selenium Tech Automation. In this video I am going to discuss about how to create reusable methods for common actions such as click action, send keys, handling the drop downs, handling the windows, handling the alerts. Okay, and also we can perform some validations on the web application. Okay, for all this we are going to create some reusable methods here. Okay, why I am calling these as reusable methods means once if we can create any method for the respective action, we are going to use the same method throughout our framework while automating our web application. Okay, before going to start our video, as usual, if don't forget to watch this video till the end, and then if you like this video, please drop a like, and also please share this video to your friends or colleagues so that our video will recommend for more people. Okay, let's get started today tutorial, that is how to create reusable methods for common actions at framework level. Okay, in that the first method I am going to create here is explicitly wait for element. Okay, so by default we have already know that if we are facing some synchronization issues, that is where Selenium speed and our application speed are not matching, during that time we will face some synchronization issues, that is time issues. So to handle that, we have three types of techniques provided by the Selenium, that is explicitly wait, implicitly wait, and fluent wait. By using of these three wait conditions, we are going to handle these synchronization issues while automating our web application, out of which I am going to create a method for explicitly wait for a web element. Okay, that is about the first method. Let me create here public void, because this method is not returning anything, so only I am taking this method as void, and then followed by our method name, that is explicitly wait for element. Okay, so here the name itself, it is telling that we are waiting for an element explicitly. Okay, so here we are waiting for an element explicitly. So for which we are waiting, here we are waiting for a web element, correct? So I am taking that as a parameter inside my method. Okay, I am passing this web element as a parameter for my method called as explicitly wait for element, and then the reference name for the web element, that is element. And then here if we are handling the elements with the help of wait conditions, means we have to mention the how many seconds or how many times or how many hours we have to wait for the respective element to perform any action. Okay, in that I am using here long wait. Okay, I am using here long wait followed by, what is the name for that, wait time in seconds. I can take it as a wait time in seconds. So these are the two parameters which are required for the explicitly waiting for an element. Okay, after that I am going to use here our explicitly wait syntax, that is WebDriver wait, wait equals to new WebDriver. What is our explicitly wait syntax? New WebDriver wait equals to new WebDriver wait of driver comma time unit seconds. Okay, so here WebDriver wait is accepting two parameters, correct? So one is the driver reference, one is the WebDriver reference, and the another one is duration of time unit. So here driver. Okay, and followed by duration of time unit, that is, what is the syntax, that is duration, which is coming from java.time dot of seconds. Okay, duration of seconds, which is accepting long seconds. So here we have already added passed one parameter for this method, that is called as wait time in seconds. I can directly take this and I will paste here. This duration dot of seconds is expecting what type of data type, that is long time. So only I called that parameter inside my off second. So here why we are getting driver, because we did not initialize our WebDriver, we did not created any WebDriver instance, so only it is giving error. So to overcome that, first I have to instantiate our WebDriver reference followed by the driver variable. Okay, so now that error is gone. So after that if my web element, okay, whatever the element I am looking for that element I am going to wait, right? So I will take that condition inside my try block. Once if that element is found by the Selenium, so the next second I am going to wait for that element using of our explicitly wait. So that line I will keep inside my try block. If that element is not found, or because of some synchronization issue that element is not clickable or that element is not identifiable, means I will handle that exception with the help of catch block, which the whole thing here is we are going to handle that situation or scenario using of try catch blocks. So how? Let me create one try catch block here. Try catch block, inside my try block the code where it will return the which one, where our try block will returns the execution code, like where it won't have any failures. It will execute only for the past conditions or past scenarios. If my condition is true, it will execute my try block. If my condition is false, it will go and execute it from the catch block and it will return the respective exception. Okay, so here I am going to use sorry WebDriver wait for WebDriver wait dot WebDriver wait dot sorry here wait dot until expected conditions. So because here we are referring, right, WebDriver wait equals to new WebDriver wait of duration comma time minute seconds followed by wait dot until, right, wait dot until. This is our actual syntax of explicitly wait. That is expected conditions is my class name here. Expected conditions is the class name dot. For what we are writing here, explicitly wait for element, correct? For what we are writing, explicitly wait for element. So here I am going to wait for that element to be clickable. Okay, element to be clickable. Here you can see element to be clickable. This element to be clickable is expecting one parameter. So which element we are going to click, that element we have to pass here. That is, we already parameterized that as web element. The same thing we have to define here. That's it. This is about explicitly wait for element. Okay, so after this if that is like if my condition got failed here in try block, the next second my catch block is come into picture and it will execute the catch block condition. Okay, so here handle stale. Okay, for now I can print like e dot print stack trace simply. Okay, e dot print stack trace. Okay, this line will define what type of exception and on which line at what time we got this exception. It will print in this catch block. Okay, that's all. This is about our first method, that is explicitly wait for element. In this way we can create a reusable method for where it will wait for a particular web element using of explicitly wait synchronization technique. Okay, and then what is our next step? That is click and wait method. Okay, that is click and wait method. Let me create one more method or another method that is called as click and wait method. Okay, click and wait method. Okay, after clicking I'm going to wait for the seconds, like fraction of seconds, how much time I want to wait. Okay, so here click and wait. So the same, like uh, we are performing click action on a web element, right? So only this click and wait method will accept one parameter. So let me create the same method here, that is public void click and wait. Okay, where we are performing click action on a web element, correct? So it is also expecting one parameter that is called as element. Okay, on this particular element I am going to perform some click action, and I am waiting for the page to be load or elements to be loaded properly. Okay, so here also first I will use try catch block here directly. Okay, if my condition is satisfied, execute my code from the try block. If nothing is happening, or if my result is, if my condition is not matching, so you can go to the catch block and it will, you can give me the what type of exception it is failing. Okay, so under my try block I am going to write a line called as wait for. Okay, here it is not there. Okay, wait of, I will use directly wait of how many seconds I have to wait here. Okay, let me check what it is accepting. Wait long timeout milliseconds. So here also I will take like the above method, long of wait time in seconds. Okay, so here also my click and wait method is accepting two parameters. One is web element and the another one is wait time in seconds. It's of long data type. After that I'm going to define here long of wait time. So this is how we have to call those parameters inside our body of the method. Okay, once it is done, the next line here is, after that I can use explicitly wait condition directly from the Selenium, or I can reuse the same method what we have created earlier. So here I am directly calling the same method here, explicitly wait for element. It is accepting two parameters, that is element and wait time in seconds. Here you can see it is directly taking the element here, where we passed as a parameter to the method called as click and wait, and it is accepting long of wait time in seconds. This method we have already created here. Okay, the same method I'm calling here. Instead of creating again WebDriver wait equals to new WebDriver wait driver comma duration dot of seconds, so because of that the method which I have already created, I am using the same explicitly wait for element method inside my click and wait method to perform click action. And also now, so I don't know whether it clicked or not. If it is really clicked means I want some message to be displayed in the console. For that we are using here loggers. Okay, for that we are using loggers here. So here I have created one line called as private static logger equals to logger factory dot get logger class name dot class. Okay, so let me use the same logger reference here. That is, we have different methods available in logger 4j also, log 4j also, that is logger dot, if you can see here info. If I want to print some message in the console, I can mention here as element got element clicked successfully, and I will mention. Okay, and I will mention the same. Okay, and I will mention here the same web element, right? The same web element. What is that element? Okay, what is that element? Correct, element. Okay, so once if that element is fine, the next minute I am explicitly waiting for that particular web element, and then I am going to use here logger.info message. Okay, logger.info message saying that, okay, logger.info message saying that explicitly wait for element and perform the click action. So after this I am writing here element dot click. Okay, element dot click method I have written here. Okay, so now once if we are waiting for that particular element using of our method called as explicitly wait for element, and I am performing click action of the respective element. After that I want some message to be printed in the console part, so only I have introduced here logger concept again. Using of info method I am printing saying that element clicked successfully, this is my web element, so that it will print that particular element also. If nothing is happening, so now I am going to handle this using of catch block. How we can use, in the same loggers we have error method as well. Okay, we have error method as well, saying that element is not clicked, element is not clicked, element is not clicked, element is not clicked, or element is not displayed, anything. Okay, that is up to your wish. Element is not clicked. After that, which what I am doing here, I am getting the stack trace now. Okay, stack trace. So earlier we have used here print stack trace, this time we are using here get stack trace. Okay, let me check why it is getting error. Syntax error. Okay, concatenation is missing, comma is missing, correct? Yeah, comma, correct. Element is not clicked. Okay, we have forget to add one more parenthesis here. Okay, so now what type of warning message we are getting? Of the last argument to the method error string object does not exactly cached object confirm the invocation. Element is not clicked, followed by this one, u dot get stack trace. Okay, it will be no problem, it's just a warning. Once it is done, our second method is also finished, correct? Once it is done, our second method is also completed. So far we have finished two methods. The first one is explicitly wait for element, and the next method here is click and wait method. These are the two methods where we can reuse throughout our framework. And then the next method here is element present. Okay, so now I am going to validate whether that element is present or not. Okay, if my element is present, return me that particular element. If my element is not present, give me the exception. Okay, so here let me create another method for element present. This element present method will check for the element which is present or not in the web application or the web page. So how we can create? The same way, public void is element present. Okay, is element present. So this is element present is accepting the same like above, that is web element. If you want to add one more parameter regarding our time unit, you can add that one also, but for this method I am not adding that parameter. It is accepting only one parameter, that is web element. For this element only we are going to perform some validation. If that element is enabled and that element is displayed, perform this action. If that element is not displayed or that element is not clickable, give me the exception. That we can write under catch block. Okay, that we can write under catch block. Let's go to the next method, that is element present. Here the first line here is first, let me take one boolean of type data type boolean flag equals to false. Initially I will take it as directly as a false. Okay, after that I am writing here try block, the same like as I mentioned. If my element is present and element is enabled and element is displayed, do the action, return me that particular web element. So if element dot is displayed or element dot is enabled, correct? If my element is displayed or element is enabled, okay, here we are taking two conditions. Either one of the condition is going to be satisfied, then it will make our test as pass. Okay, it should be like either if that element is displayed or if that element is enabled. If any one of them is happened, so give me the flag value as true. Give me the flag value as true, that is flag equals to true, which means that element is present. If that element is not present means it will go to the catch exception, sorry, catch block, correct? So for example, if that element is not displayed or element is not enabled, so now I am going to the catch block. So here what I will define, I will return one exception here. So if that element is not displayed means, or that element is not enabled means, obviously we will get two types of exceptions, that is no such element exception or stale element reference exception. So here no such element exception or stale element, sorry, stale element reference exception, correct, stale element reference exception, and then return me the flag value as false. Okay, and then return me the false flag value as false, since that element is not displayed or element is not enabled to perform any action. So once that is done, again I want to use some loggers here to get those details in my console. That is error. What is my string message? I can mention here anything like element is not present. Okay, element is element. This is also one of the important thing where we have to be aware. That is how we can use string to print any text message in the console. Okay, after that is not present, I have to print the message called as is not present, element is not present. Okay, why we are getting error here, we'll see. String literal is not properly closed by a double quote where it is. Okay, I forget to add by end of the present. Okay, it's gone right. After that, why, so since we are taking it as a boolean, means that if that is present, give me that flag value as true. If element is not present, give me my flag value as false. So only we have to change this method type to boolean. Okay, then we can return something saying that flag value, return my actual flag value. Okay, this is how we can write a method for which one, to check whether that element is present or not. So why we are getting still that one concatenation symbol is missing here, so only we are getting that error message. Okay, so now it's clear, right? If my element is present, or if my element is displayed, or if my element is enabled, give me my flag value as true, that is boolean result as a true. If none of them is happening, go to the catch block and give me either no such element exception or stale element reference exception, followed by the logger.error message. Okay, this is our third method how we can create to verify that element is present or not. After that, select by visible text. Okay, our next method here is select by visible text. I will stop till here because it is taking more time. So yeah, better if we can have some short video for this particular video. So the next method here is public void select by visible text. We have already know that how we can handle the drop downs using of select class followed by the option tag name, using of different methods, that is select by visible text, select by name, select by class value, sorry, select by value, or select by visible text, or select by name. Okay, these are the three methods where we can use to handle the drop downs. Under that, now I am going to create a method for select by visible text. So how we can create a drop down means using of search class. If you go and search your DOM structure in the web application, developers will design this, or developers will create this drop down using of select class only. Okay, so here also the same how I am going to create. So the name itself, it is telling based on the element text I am going to select that particular value from the drop down, correct? So here let me take parameter as web element, and another one is string visible text, correct? Based on my visible text only I am going to select that particular option from the web element, correct? Based on the, what is that, void is public void select by visible text. Okay, one second. why okay, I forgot to close here ending tag for the above method. Okay, so here select by visible text, which is accepting two parameters. One is the web element, where I'm going to uh, automate that particular element by selecting a value from the option from the drop down, correct? And then here is my visible text, that is the string visible text. Once it is done, in the same way like before that, I am going to initialize that particular web element, or I have to wait for that particular web element to be identified, correct? And now I am going to use here web element drop down equals to web element drop down equals to explicitly wait only. I will take here, since we have already created, right? Explicitly wait for the element, and then here okay, object name get total, not waiting. Okay, for now I will keep that hardcode value here 10 seconds. After that, explicitly wait for element, 1 second. So which method we have created here? Long wait, right? Explicitly wait for element and click, or what the method name is here? Explicitly wait for element. So it is taking two methods, right? Okay, okay, let it be. Okay, I will define only that particular web element, that is web element drop down equals to web element drop down equals to element. Okay, web element drop down equals to element, and then here I'm using I'm using here try catch block again. Okay, I'm using here try catch block again. So here in the same way like how we defined for the other methods, in the same way we have to create like the same only. If my condition is satisfied, keep that code inside my try block. If any one of the condition is not satisfied, then go to the catch block and give me the exception why it is failing. Okay, so under that, under my try block, so how to create a drop down? Using of select class, using of select class only, the drop down is going to be created, that is select equals to select equals to new select of web element is drop down. Okay, this is how we can create a drop down, that is select equals to new select of drop down. So after that, using of select class object reference, I am going to use the respective method, that is select by visible text, correct? Select by visible text, we have already passed that visible text as a parameter for our method, that is we are calling inside our select by visible text method. Okay, once it is done, I'm going to print that logger dot info, logger dot info, 1 second. Okay, logger dot info. So again I have to define like whether it is selected that text based on the select that element based upon the visible text or not. So for that I have to use here string literal, okay, to define the text message, that is text. Okay, that is text, and then visible text, correct, right? Visible text, visible text is selected from the drop down, is selected from the drop down, is selected from the drop down, and opening of from where it got selected, which element it got selected, that is element, that is element, correct? That is element, and then close the existing openings in the string literal. Okay, if not means I have to print some message in the console pot by keeping them in catch block, correct? So let me go to the catch block and print the same logger dot error. This time I want logger dot error message saying that object is not present, so that message will get filled here, like object is not present, object is not present, or not this one. Let me check. Web element is not present, correct? So how we can define using our string literal? That is web element, sorry, element is not present. Okay, element is not present. Anything, whatever message if you want, you can keep that here. Not present or text. Okay, not present or text. What is our element here? Element or text is not selected. Okay, is not selected. So this is how we can create a reusable method for handling the drop down using of select by visible text. Okay, so these are the few methods where we can reuse throughout our entire framework. The under that, the first method here is explicitly wait for element, click and wait, element present, and select by visible text. Okay, explicitly wait for element, click and wait, element present, and select by visible text. Present and select by visible text. And in the next video we will discuss about the remaining methods, such as how we can enter the text in the text field, how we can enter the text in the text field, and how we can perform the enter action using of robot class. After that, how we can verify a text from the web element, and how we can perform click action on the on accepting the alert, and how we can automate the auto suggestion scenario from any websites such as Google or Amazon or Flipkart. Okay, we will see these methods, remaining methods, in our next video. Until then, take care everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you guys.